Hi everyone and welcome to our Forza Horizon 4 First Impressions video. Been really looking forward to this one after our recent playthrough of Horizon 2 and just before that Horizon 3, playing in a bit of an odd order, but wanting to do a First Impressions video before the game releases on the 28th of September. Bit of initial setup to do. My TV's fairly bright, so we'll be turning the white point and the HDR brightness down a little bit just to compensate for that. We've got the option to change our name here. I expect that'll have something to do in the game, so let's get our name in there. And the game offers us two options for a quality mode and a performance mode. Performance mode is a higher frame rate, low graphics fidelity. The quality mode hits that 4K 30 frames a second that they're aiming at. The great thing about this is we are streaming it on the Xbox One X, so we're going to hit it at the quality mode. Hopefully it'll still be butter smooth, and we'll see what that's like as we hit the game. As you can see in the background, there's plenty happening. The big draw in Forza 4 is the dynamic seasons coming into play, and this year we are touring Great Britain. I expect we'll see some sites that we're familiar with. I believe Edinburgh is in there as part of it, as well as Ambleside and a fair other amount of areas. I expect an uplift in detail, but we've been spoiled last year with Forza 3 and Forza 7, so let's see what happens. As always, good old Forza control scheme for Horizon is simple: brake, accelerate, steering, the good old switch and rewind camera buttons. Rewind camera coming in for when we make those little mistakes, giving us that option to redo that again. Does take away somewhat from some of the difficulty, although we can disable it if we want. So for those of you new to the series, Horizon is much more arcadey than the Motorsport series. I'm expecting this to look absolutely beautiful.
I see a festival that never ends, where you can be whatever you want to be. It's not your dream holiday anymore. It's your dream life. That's the Horizon I see.
The McLaren Senna there looking pretty swish.
Welcome to autumn.
So from what feels like an FMV straight into in-game graphics, and our first season in autumn, and it looks like we're taking control straight away. The lighting is amazing, the graphics are amazing. I don't know what to say, this is probably one of the most prettiest games I've ever played. I thought The Witcher 3 in HDR mode was amazing at 4K, but this just looks so slick. And our first option to use the rewind button there as we smash back into oncoming traffic. Let's take full advantage of that and whip round it this time. The McLaren Senna that it's given us to start off with is jam-packed with speed. Hopefully we're not going to fly off too much here and try and keep hold of it. We've got an option to get to the waterfall. And again, we're going to have to hit that rewind button because we keep hitting traffic. The racing line is a slight colour change from Forza 3, just put me off a little bit. But the braking distances are still coming out, so that's not too bad. Straight into water and straight across. See if we can pull that back. So I believe we've also got dynamic weather here as well. So hopefully we might get a little bit of rain or a little bit of cloud coming in, changing the lighting dynamic as we're playing, which always makes things interesting. Autumn looking absolutely beautiful, leaves everywhere. It is kind of what I'd expect it to look like, and it's already transitioned us into winter. This is kind of reminiscent of the showcases that we had in the previous Forza games, and I guess it's just giving us a feel in this first impression video of what we're likely to expect. So into snow, into trucks, into probably something that's going to handle a little bit more like an oil tanker than the lightness that we experienced with the Senna a minute ago. It's slippy, it's slidey, it feels heavy. We're probably in, I think, maybe a Toyota or something like a Baja. It's much more colourful. Forza 2, a little bit bland on the colour side. Forza 3 picked up the pace a little bit, and there we've got destructible scenery. But again, the Outback can only be so many colours. I think they've kind of tried to make this much more interesting. I'm kind of tending to, my eyes are wandering around now. I'm not even looking at the car half the time. It's extremely crisp. I've seen no artifacts, no tearing or anything. We've got snow hitting the lens. Breaking up the walls is looking particularly tasty, and now we've got a bit of low-hanging fog coming through. Okay, that puts us in first place as we come back into the festival. 91%. There shouldn't be any chance of him overtaking us now. And it looks like it's end of that particular section and it's transitioning us again. Now into spring. Bit of rallying here. Bikes, that's a new one for Forza. It's given us the Focus Hoonigan to splash about in. It's a bit slippy, it's a bit slidey. The difference in the cars is pretty big over Forza 3. The terrain differences are quite large as well. I expect there's not going to be a single car that you're not going to be able to, complete the entire game with. You're going to be swapping and changing, I think, in respect to this year.
Coming up on the quarry.
Woohoo!
Through the water again. 58, 59%.
Hey Blue, thread the needle with me.
Accidentally missing a checkpoint there, so we'll rewind and put us back through, otherwise it would just do it automatically, I think. Let's weave our way through these trees. We've not got much left. These bikes are all over it though. Into the water.
Red's down, red's down.
There's only one left from the look of things.
Like I'm the only one left.
Might have just pipped him at the post there, I think. Into the British summertime. Looks like we've got a variety of cars here. There's the M4.
The greatest race of all time. Point yourself in the direction of the horizon and put your
Great racer. We're back in the McLaren again. Mostly reminiscent of British summertime. Normally there'd be a lot more rain and it'd probably be colder than what it looks like here. The feeling of speed in this car is absolutely tremendous. I expect there's some areas where, with a few upgrades on these cars, it's a little bit more breakneck than it is here. 8th out of 12. I don't think we're racing anything other than the cars.
people are lining the streets to get a load of the action. Cheer these racers on, guys. Come on.
Try and recover it there from a little slide.
We got some awesome racing trucks out there too. The most incredible hypercars are all here. I can see a Centenario, Ferrari FXXK, and a beautiful Bugatti Chiron. And is that a Vulcan?
So I think we're getting
Horizon,
just
you
a
do
selection of
not
the
wanna
cars.
miss out on one
I believe
thing.
there are about 400. And we'll rewind there. I think there's about 400 in the game. So there's a real selection.
Look at that Senna go.
I think we're going all the way from classic all the way up to kit. So I want to rewind it again. It's not that my driving's bad. I'm just letting you take account of the jet flyover.
Someone's
Is what I'll
gotta
keep
be
telling
handling
myself anyway. Right, third, 12, 77%. It's going to get. I expect it's going to be pretty close. This.
Final straight. I can't breathe.
Oh, we pipped him at the post. Okay, and an unlock for the main game. So I've unlocked a T-shirt. Hopefully that's not it for the first impressions, but just a reminder of what's available when the game does actually release. So if you opt for the Ultimate Edition, it's about $100, £80 in the UK. The Ultimate Edition releases a couple of days early, I think about 4 days early, on the 28th, whereas the Deluxe and the Standard Edition both release on the 2nd of October. I think the Standard Edition retails at around $49.99 to $60, somewhere around there, with the Deluxe coming in between. Ultimate obviously includes the VIP membership, the car pass, and the 2 game expansions, as well as a variety of different bits and bobs that are released fairly early. The game's actually available on Game Pass, so anybody who's watching this who's thinking of playing it and isn't quite sure, the potential is to pick the game up for around £7 on Game Pass for a month's access. And if you play it to death, you might have to pick the full game up. But if you're continuing to play it throughout the Forza-thon that they have previously for unlocking cars and new events, if you're thinking about the DLC, if you're thinking about continued multiplayer access, then Game Pass might not cut it for you unless you're thinking about a long-term Game Pass access. We'll continue demo because it sounds like there's a little bit more going on.
Quite a show.
I try my best. Is everyone here?
Yep, all here, boss. Ready and raring.
Great. Okay, do we have Alex here?
Here, let's have a look at the avatars. None of them look like me, so we'll just go with this chap here. Generic white guy.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Kira, director of the festival. Looks like you've made a good impression with our talent scouts.
This one might have a real chance of taking a spot on the roster.
Rebecca's one of our former champions. She's giving me a hand running the Horizon Road Racing series.
Excited? I remember my first day at Horizon. It's all pretty surreal, huh?
I'll leave you two to get set up for the first race. Good luck.
Right then, let's get you behind the wheel. Which one will it be?
So car models, amazing. We've got a Focus RS, an Audi TT Coupe, and a Dodge Charger RT. Character models, on the other hand, a little bit square, a little bit cardboard. They're not the stars of the show here, really, let's be honest. So we've got the option of picking one of these. So the Focus RS front-wheel drive, TTS Coupe, I think is all-wheel drive, and then the Dodge Charger will be rear-wheel. So we've got some pure American muscle, German precise engineering, and some hot hatch action with the Ford UK made, but I think we'll go with the TTS Coupe.
Exactly my choice as well. We'll talk all about why later. Right now, we need to get you racing. All right, let's get you set up with a personalised number plate. Go on, be creative.
Forza's all about the customization, mostly the visual customization as well. So let's just pop our number plate on here. just fits.
I expect you'll want to get a feel for your new car. So I've signed you up to some events to get you started. See you there.
Okay, so we've got the Horizon Hub, but we've also got 2 events, Horizon Festival Sprint and a Ambleside Sprint, both road racing series. Let's just have a quick look at this map, see what we can see. So we've got the large lake up here, looks to be an area somewhere around here. We've got quite an expansive map. I'm guessing this is Edinburgh. That looks particularly like the Royal Mile and also the Edinburgh train station, so if I'm not incorrect. Probably 4 to 5 different areas in here. I'm not sure where this area could be. I'm suggesting that each area changes dynamic season, that isn't just autumn. We've got Coastal Road, we've got a hell of a lot to see. How far will the demo let us go? I'm not sure if it'll let us go all the way out here, maybe blocks a little bit off. It won't let us set a route there. How far will it let us get up to? Yeah, we can get up to the quarry. We can get up there. We can get up to there. We can get to there. We can't go north of this line, I don't think. I think we're locked off to this sort of area. Okay, great. Let's go to the furthest one out and get a little bit of driving in first, so we can get a feel for what the game feels and looks like.
Turn left.
As we said earlier, it looks amazing. It is butter smooth. The Xbox One X has done an amazing job of holding up with this sort of graphical fidelity. I know there's a PC Master Race out there that says it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I can't see how you're going to get this sort of effect on PC without spending an arm and a leg. It is available on PC as well. I believe it's digital only. I'm not sure which store it's bought on. I expect it's the Microsoft store. So let's take a look at the UK countryside. One of the things that used to annoy me most was the graphical stickiness of small walls, and there's many a time where you get caught on a small wall such as this where you couldn't pass into the field next to it. I think they've done some sort of upgrade here, because even small trees, as we saw earlier, we were able to destroy. I do believe you need some momentum to go through them though. Yep, so it's looking pretty good. Again, graphics on everything, breaking apart the rocks, breaking apart the fences, it's all looking amazing. So we are doing this for purposes of testing. And let's take a quick look around the car. Just stick the anchors on.
The freshest speeds.
So the lighting's coming out well. We've got it on cosmetic damage only as we're playing this part of it. I don't really like to play with full damage on, just because I think it ruins the Forza experience. Let's take a look inside the car. Okay, it's a shame that on free look inside the car you can't look around the inside of the car and actually you see outside of it, but it is looking fairly crisp, and each one of these is unique on each car. In front of the steering wheel, probably a little easier to see when we're driving there compared to the previous position. On the bonnet, giving you a really good view, and then on the grille is pretty much the danger zone view. Depending on how you like to play, everyone has their own view. Ridge Racer for me is something where I'll play it this way, but Forza for me is the third person view.
400 meters. Turn left.
So the car's heavy. I expect with some upgrading it might feel a little bit lighter. It's a lot more heavy than the Senna that we were driving earlier. The brakes are absolutely awful, which means that we're going to have to take our time on this first race because we're going to be sliding all over the shop. I'm not sure how much of an effect Forza 7 has had on the Forza Horizon series. It feels, engine-wise, we're probably using the Forza 7 engine to some extent, or at least some adaptations from it. The handling, however, does feel like it's much more Forza Motorsport at the moment than it is Horizon. That might just depend on the fact that I've gone from an extremely quick car to an extremely slow car in comparison. Not that the TCS is slow, but it's just nowhere near as fast as the McLaren. Heading into Ambleside, I think we said we were going to Ambleside Sprint.
200 meters. Turn left.
And we're already starting to see the friends list populate the drivers that we're driving against. Horizon Radio beating out again. We come for our first race of the Ambleside Sprint. Not sure if we're winning anything here, if it's progress that's carryable into the main game. The Ambleside Sprint gives us a road race series to attack here. Looks like we've got Honda S2000 there.
Perform there, and someday, who knows? I might even find space for you on the roster.
The Audi TTS being shown as an A-Class 740 power car. Starting grid, what's going to give us some problems. So the Lotus Evora S that Adam's driving, the SLK that Cat on Fire's driving, and the Alfa Romeo 4C are all pretty much more powerful than we are, although it's going to come down to driver skill here. Difficulty is at plus 30%, which I believe is average difficulty. We're going to leave it on that for now. We've got the options to fine tune the car from here, but we're just going to go straight into it in our first race. Okay, not that it's a bad thing, but this first race, the speed of it unfortunately is reminding me of the very first time I played Gran Turismo. Do you remember taking your B-Class license, getting in that Honda bus and basically being the slowest thing from 0 to 40 ever? Unfortunately it feels a little bit like that, it feels a little bit slow. It might just be a bit of a warm-up race, but I'm not getting the feeling of speed that I did on Forza 3 on the first couple of races. Again, being spoilt by trying out the centre already is probably doing some of that to us. 39% through, 9 of 12. We are aiming for podiums here, guys, so apologise for the brute force in my driving style. I'm not a perfect line sort of guy. I am going to be pushing people out of the way because that's my prerogative. I don't get to do it in real life and on the motorway, so let's do it here. Although it has given us some ultimate racing, clean racing line. The S2000, as I said previously, was always going to be the danger car, although we seem to be outdoing it really here. Maybe just, as I said earlier, because it's the first race. The guys at Playground Games have really gone to town on the graphics and the quality here. The colour is really popping. It's so much more interesting than Forza 3 was. Even, you know, on that coastal road, I expect the coastal road here to look even better. So fairly straightforward for our first race. 100 metres in, we're well in front of the pack. First podium.
Race at the festival, that was some nice driving out there. Keep performing like that and you'll be invited to the next round of the series.
So it looks like we're levelling up in multiple different areas here. Not only that, it looks like influence is now the supporting growth factor rather than fans that we saw in Forza 3.
Wow, you really are the image of Frankie Beaumont. Sorry, Joel Carter, Horizon Driver Relations. Now, do I have an opportunity for you? There's a movie shooting nearby that's in need of a stunt driver. Short notice, I know, but what do you say?
Meet me here ASAP, and I'll introduce you to Mike Steele. He's the stunt coordinator for the movie.
Okay, so something a little newer. We've got the option to take on the second road racing series, but I think what we'll do is we'll come and check this out. So this is part of the New Horizon
Hey,
story.
Alex. Your radio should have presets for our resident Horizon stations. Horizon Pulse, Horizon Base Arena, Horizon Block Party, and Horizon XS. See what takes your fancy.
Because I'm opening up with 4 radio stations. As I said, Base Arena, Block Party, XS, Pulse. We'll leave it on Pulse for now. It's the most poppy of the stadiums. Always struck me as kind of a perfect match if the guys at Playground would do some sort of a deal with Microsoft and Spotify to get custom Spotify playlists pumping out here. I guess it's a licensing nightmare and that's why it's never happened. But I live in hope, and anybody watching this from Playground, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever's your flavour, I expect there's some sort of deal to be done there, which would promote both brands.
400 meters.
Forza is all about
Turn
music,
sharp right.
especially the Horizon, and it kind of just goes hand in hand with driving.
Turn sharp right.
Like I say, coming up to this first story event, not really sure what to expect
Turn
here,
left.
apart from being told to turn left.
Turn left.
Hey Horizon, Amy Simpson with you here on Pulse. And I hear there are new drivers out there competing for a spot.
The Stunt Driver,
Here
Chapter
they
1.
are, future star of the silver screen.
Hardly the doppelganger you promised.
You having a laugh? They're like twins.
You'll do. Mike Steele, by the way. Today's shoot's a getaway scene. Head over to Broadway Village. We got everything set up there. The kid better be as good as you say.
Thanks, Sean Bean. Anybody else thinks he sounds like Sean Bean? But not quite the budget for Sean Bean.
Step on it, yeah? We don't want to lose the light.
So transitioned a little bit into early evening here in the English countryside. In the Bugatti, not really sure which model it is, but it's a lot faster and lighter than the Audi. This is more what I was expecting from Horizon. This thing flies 150 mile an hour already. 160, we probably could have gone a little bit further if we had tried. Yeah, this thing does fly. Just have a quick look around the car as we go. Look at the brake heat. That's a nice touch.
You made it. That was quick. Right, let's get everything set up. You're going in at the deep end, but at least you look the part now. This is a classic car escape. The hero's being chased by a jet and escapes by jumping through an old windmill. Don't ask. If you're as good as Joel says, there should be no trouble. Hey, remember to breathe, kid. Just don't let it get away from you. I'll talk you through it, you'll be fine.
Okay, 2 minutes. We've got to jump farther than the target distance, which is 30 metres. Doesn't sound like a lot. Memories of Forza Horizon 3 jet race.
Yeah, the baddie's in a jet plane, so what? You just keep that needle in the red. Maybe do some evasive maneuvers.
This is possibly the car we're going to want later. It's very quick.
You and your hero is safe. For now. Good. This is all good stuff. Don't relax, kid. We're not done. Keep it loose and fast up the hill, then back down. Still got the jump to do.
Okay, nice and tidy.
Blocked off ahead, so you're gonna cut across the field. They'll add something in post. Crashed alien ship or something. It's all marked out for camera coverage, okay? You just line it up, floor it, pray.
Oh no! Can't believe we absolutely smashed into the wall of the windmill there. Let's try again from there. We might not even get 30 meters at this rate.
Eyes forward. Ignore the camera. Try to look heroic. And that is a wrap, everyone. Congratulations, kid. You survived. Reckon you can do that again? I'll give you a number to casting. Call you.
Probably could have been a lot more epic had we actually stuck the jump and the landing. But nevertheless, interesting, quite short, probably quite, you know, I expect these to be quite prevalent in the game, the story missions. You're getting a lot of influence from that, so I'm guessing these are going to be the thing that drive the game forward. We promoted in Stunt Driver, it's unlocked another 10k for us.
Hey,
Wheel
Alex.
spin at the next level if we can get to see that.
There's a lot of rumors flying around that you've landed a spot in a new movie. Make sure you save time to take part in the autumn season when you're rich and famous.
Hello, I'm Anna, your automated natural navigation assistant. I'll help you explore the festival and find activities throughout the UK. Okay, Alex. I have plotted your route to a new race in the Horizon Road Racing Series.
Okay, so our second road race coming up. We've got the option to obviously go off-road here and just make our own way there. Tends to happen on Forza after you've got bored of just racing around normal roads for a while, or as soon as you get something that's a little bit dirty, like a rally car. Nice splinter in there. This car's much heavier with poorer brakes than the previous car we were just driving. The plan here is to do a let's play and run through the main game, most of the side missions, etc. On day of release after it comes out. We'll be doing a series that we'll stream on Twitch, and we'll also be uploading that on a daily basis as we complete those sessions onto the YouTube channel. Obviously, those of you who are watching on YouTube, give it a like, give it a subscribe, it does help, and those of you watching on Twitch, hitting that follow button really does make a difference. I am looking for some interactivity. What type of cars should we be doing? What sort of upgrades should we be going for? What sort of championships should we be going for? I want to see your favourite cars, I want to see your favourite designs, and hopefully we'll be doing a few giveaways as we progress through the game. October and November are going to be some really busy months with not only Forza 4, but we've also got Assassin's Creed Odyssey coming up, and closing out our Pyro run on Dark Souls, which we'll be continuing on with after this. So, into the second road race at the Festival Sprint.
You have arrived at your destination.
Still with the Audi. Nothing dangerous on the starting grid. The Lotus Exige and the Lotus Evora are there again. Probably likely to see those in the top couple, potentially the Mercedes-Benz SLK as well. Not sure what that was. That looked like a car that had been reset. Luckily we didn't smash square into the back of it. What the previous race told me already though is that we're probably going to need to be slightly more careful with fast cars, or at least high powered cars on gravel and dirt. The feeling of kind of traction or control is vastly reduced as soon as you're leaving the road anyway. So I'm guessing that every car has its class and its style of racing, and we probably shouldn't be taking the TT into a dirt race, or and for example we shouldn't take a rally car onto a road race because it just simply will slide everywhere, I'm guessing. Okay, at 61%. Maybe thinking about turning the difficulty up here a little bit. If there's another race, we are kind of coasting a little bit. Lighting and graphics are still looking amazing. We've seen no tearing whatsoever, as I said earlier. Still butter smooth. I can't see even how 60 frames a second is going to look better than this from a smooth and a speed point of view. Obviously, the resolution change is going to make a difference, but realistically, what's it going to do? The game runs amazingly at this level. I don't understand why you would want to move it to the performance mode. So another podium. How much money have we got now? Just under 46k. Another 2,500 influence. Probably another. Yep, unlocked another 10k there.
I put you through to the next round of the Horizon Road Racing Series. How could I not?
No wheel
be
spins
driving
yet.
like that? But it doesn't start until autumn. Can you amuse yourself until then?
So halfway to the autumn unlock, whether it actually
You've got
lets
the
us
eye of
unlock it.
Alex, one of our Horizon superstars. He's looking for new racers to take part in the dirt racing series.
So surprisingly, our first impressions video continues. I wasn't expecting it to be quite this long. Let's check out the dirt racing and see if any of our suspicions are going to come true around the handling, around the state of each vehicle. 1.7 kilometers to the location. Take this option to go off-road.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
So interestingly, we're not stopped by the smaller shrub that just decides it doesn't want to be knocked over. We are stopped by big trees now, which was one of, I suppose, one of my only bugbears with Horizon 2 and 3, is that even small shrubs and walls were stopping us. It wouldn't take into account the fact that the car was 3, 4, 10, 100 times heavier, and it would just simply stop you in your tracks. So it should be quite interesting. Tarn House Scramble.
Over there will get you set up with some new tyres. Come and see me after the race if you need anything else.
Renault 5 Turbo and what looks like a RS Cosworth.
It's you. I heard about the stunts you pulled for Joel. You know how to drive, don't you? Sorry, I'm Alex. I run dirt racing for the festival. Speaking of which, you'll need a car that can handle the dirt.
So, another choice, RS Cosworth as we thought. We've got a Impreza WRX STI and the Stradale. Anybody who's played Sega Rally knows what the Stradale is and does. The Impreza, classic rally vehicle, even more classic as the RS Cosworth. I think we'll go somewhere in between with the modern, with the all-wheel drive Impreza.
Nice. The Subaru. That flat 4 boxer engine is an absolute beast, I'm telling you.
So our first rally race.
First dirt race coming right up.
Impreza's all over, which is not unusual. Okay, it's starting us straight away on the gravel. There's no transition onto it. There's a lot of feedback from the pad already. and we are floating. It's very light. But this feels massively different to road racing. It's not like you could just decide to take another car in and power over. It's not going to happen, I don't think. I think that sort of sliding's probably showing you that. I think we missed the checkpoint there, yeah. Okay, I've got 3 laps to do here. Okay, back onto tarmac. Closing out the first lap. Oh yeah, it does slide. I think if you wanted to do any drifting, this sort of car might do it, unless there's a drift class specifically for that. Come around the outside a little bit on this one. Sorry Timo, just using you to push forward. Take the checkpoint sign out. 2 Scoobies up front with us. Be interesting to see how tuning the Scooby would actually affect this race. I'm guessing that might be off the cards until we hit the full game on the 28th of September. So first place at the end of lap 2, just coming up to the end of lap 2, transitioning back. There we go. 3, just about to start. Oh, we're being caught. Very, very easy with this car to oversteer. Light touches is what's required. Oh, we missed the checkpoint again. Back again. Doing quite well. Car's getting quite dirty as well. We're not staying completely pristine, which is quite good. Like the ideas. Slide around that last corner. Let's take the podium quickly. There we go.
Yes! First race in the bag. How do you feel? Dirty? Brilliant.
Dirty! Dirty, dirty! Scottish accent's amazing.
I think you could go far in my dirt racing series. Perform like that again and you might just make it into round 2.
His accent's so much better than Sean Bean wannabe.
Looks like you've nearly qualified for the autumn season. And remember, the more driving you do, the more you'll build your influence.
Hey, I'm hearing good things about you. Oh, sorry, my name's Jay. I might have something that'll interest you. There's a street race meetup, and I think you should check it out. See you there?
So, a street race meetup, but I ain't driving the Scooby-Doo on that. Early evening now, so I'm expecting the street race is going to be in the night. Take a couple of trees out while we're at it. Off-road in the Scooby. Okay, let's see if we, the hub, it allows us to swap back to the Audi. And let's see if we've got any options for upgrade. Okay, so festival site. Normally that's where the auto show and garage is. Okay, what options have we got? Okay, so let's check out our car. There's our Audi. Getting car. And let's see very quickly what options we've got to upgrade it and if we've even got enough cash.
So, it's a garage, obviously. It's where you come to work on your cars. Makes sense so far.
Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to throw cash at it to the top options until we run out of money. So race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race exhaust, cams, valves, block, pistons. We're at 32,000 already. Still going. Race oil. Flywheel. Okay, we're at 39,000 and we're only just done part 1.
Platform tuning, that kind of thing.
Race springs. Race bars. Plus 40 kilograms roll cage. But weight reduction. Drivetrain. 53,000. We've got 73, so we've got a bit more. We can probably spend. Run out of cash quick though here. Race differential. Tyres and rims aren't going to make any difference to the speed of the car.
You can do that here.
That's done something. Conversion.
So you want to totally change the insides of your car? Here's where you can do that.
Well, that could be used for rallying then. A rear-wheel drive drivetrain. I think the stock drivetrain. Yeah, stock drivetrain on this is all-wheel drive, which we want to keep. So that is it. We go to basket.
You keep shopping, have fun. I'll tot up the price for you.
Buy and install parts.
Let me know when you're done.
So that's skinted us, but we've upgraded the car quite a bit there. Let's see how it fares in street race. So no options to customise at the moment, the decals or the colour. I expect they're holding that back for the main game. Wow. Street race is quite far. Let's see how naughty this is now.
Turn sharp left.
Brakes are much better. It's feeling a lot faster.
Here with you on Pulse. Oh, it feels so good to be home.
Yeah, the brakes are much better now. It's popping and spluttering all over the shop. Should be quite interesting in the street race. Let's see what we're up against.
We can even enjoy this beautiful summer sunshine that we're having until it goes back to being cold and wet. And yeah, let's just not think about that yet. Let's have some tunes.
Check out that wall. We didn't need that.
400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 100
Okay,
meters,
let's hit the road race. Street race.
You have arrived at your destination.
It's you! You made it! I'm Jay, by the way. Alex wouldn't shut up about you, you know. If you drive half as well as he says you can, these guys will love you. Oh, before we start, you've got to know this isn't strictly sanctioned by the festival. So don't mention this to Kira, all right? I gotta go. Work to do. See you around though, yeah? These might not be official, but you keep coming to these meets. I'll make sure everyone at Horizon knows your name. Looking forward to seeing what you can do out there. Have fun now, yeah?
Starting grid looks interesting. There's a Murcielago, a Huracan. Yeah, we might be slightly outmatched here. Power says no, but the Pagani Raya says we are. Let's see what happens. I suppose the all-wheel drive, we can put the power down, so coming out the corners and over braking into them should benefit us a bit, as long as we can keep away from walls, trees, anything of that ilk, and pedestrians. We're coming out of them pretty quick. Oh, getting sideways a little bit. It's quite interesting. I think the previous spec of this car would have slid off there. We wouldn't have even got around the corner, I don't think. '34 Beetle is an interesting car. The AI seems a little hesitant to put its toe down. Oof. Let's rewind there. Problem is, we saw him coming a mile away there. Even now you can see him. We still managed to bump into him. The first rewind on this... oh no! Speak of the devil. Second rewind on this... oh no, third. Even worse. Third time's a charm. It was all going so good until I spoke. 70% through, still in the lead. They are pretty close though. Any key mistakes here and we're going to lose places. Would be interesting to see whether, oh we'll have to rewind there, whether the game lets you rewind right on the finish line, as it previously it would stop you doing so on Forza 3, anywhere within about 100-200 metres. 84% through. I think we're just coming up on the finish after this checkpoint. Far enough ahead though not to get caught yet. There we go, finish first. Second in front.
So, street racers have all these unspoken rules about respect and honour and who can and can't join, but all you need to know is, drive like that and you're welcome anytime.
So just busting 20k there.
Hey, just to let you know, there's another round one dirt race starting soon if you fancy it. See you there. Oh, and me and Jay have just finished setting up a new danger sign. You should check it out if you fancy some thrills along the way.
Okay, so I'm just going to nip up and swap back to the Scooby, just because a dirt race we're not going to be able to do much in this, in a dirt race. It's going to be all over the place. Okay, considering how much it costs to upgrade the TT, I don't think we've got the cash to upgrade the Scooby. We've only got 27k. So let's smash on. With the danger sign on the way there, I think that'd be interesting. Yep, slidey slidey. Oh, bit of a glitch there where the camera got stuck. There's a bit of a convoy going on here. Okay, so 400 meters for the jump, the danger sign, so let's peg it, floor it here, see if we can stick the landing. Oh, there we go.
These were boarded up to mark potential hazards. Then me and Alex went around and put a whacking great flags on them. Voila! Danger sign is full. So long as you survive, they'll probably let us build more.
That's another 3,000 influence. So we're fairly close now to that 24.5. That wall can't be destroyed. We're back on the dirt again. Okay, so Ambleside Scramble with the Scooby, second of the dirt racing series. We're going to go in blind on this one and try and close it out. So finishing first here will get us to autumn. Will give us that 24.5 to get us into autumn. That does mean we do need to kind of concentrate on what we're doing. Back on the dirt again, it's a lot lighter than the road race. As I say, it would be interesting to see what this car's like upgraded. I think I might come back and play this through again, but this time concentrating on upgrading the Scooby rather than the Audi. See what happens. Maybe I'll try the Charger for a bit of rear-wheel drive drifting action. CPU trying to get away from us here. Lap 2, so we're going to have to do something about getting past this guy. Oh no, we missed that checkpoint. Back again. The tracks definitely seem a little bit more varied and interesting than they did in Forza 3. Into lap 3 now. The red braking markers really don't mean much on the rally. Depending on how you're sliding, how you're swinging the car's back end out, you can pretty much go round on orange and red if you've got the control. Oh, chickens running across the road, just ran on over, excellent. There wants to be an achievement for that. And podium. Another £5 there. Another 2,100 that should see us through the 24. And no, not quite another 10k.
Good news is you've made the cut for the Horizon Autumn season. Bad news, obviously, is that it doesn't start until autumn. You don't mind sticking around, do you?
And there's a repeat unlock of the t-shirt we unlocked earlier. Okay, some cars have been added to the garage. Oh, and a lot of events or local items have been added. So we've got the drift zones, we've got the speed zones, we've got the danger signs, and we've also got speed traps, I think, somewhere around here. Yep, speed traps. We've also got local beauty spots as well, which we collected in the previous Forzas. I expect there'll be barn finds as well. Let's just have a quick look if there are any new options. So we can change car and have it delivered to the location. Interestingly enough, the car in this screen is showing the upgrades that we made, which is great. So we can see the customization. It's not just a stock picture. We've got the Charger, we've got the Cosworth, the Stradale, and then the Senna again. Let's just take the Senna for a quick scenic drive as we close out these final thoughts on our first impressions. Okay, so most importantly, let's get it off the dirt, because I expect it's going to slide everywhere.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 100 meters, turn left.
Yeah, it can't put the power down, interestingly enough. On the grass and the dirt, it can't put the power down, whereas as soon as we hit the road, it's flying.
Turn left. In 200 meters, turn left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turn left.
Okay, so first impressions are this is Forza, everything you love about Forza Horizon. It's music, it's fast cars, it's interesting scenery, it's arcadey. I wouldn't say it's particularly simulation-like, but it has gained a lot from Forza Motorsports 7 this year, or in the past year. The car models are beautiful, the performance in the game is unrealistically smooth. I mean, it is. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, this smooth, this high resolution, and it just is. The Xbox One X has really got a standout candidate here for, you know, excellent use of the developer of the power that's available to them. I'd like to see some new innovations around some of the race types when the full game comes out. They're already announcing 2 major DLCs similar to Storm Island and the Hot Wheels and Snow Mountain, Blizzard Mountain before that. It would be great to see some more music integration, although I'm not sure if we're going to see that. And hopefully, when the game comes out on the 28th, we'll be hitting that Let's Play series. If you are liking what you see and you like the Forza series and you want to chat about it, hit me up in the comments for a reply. If you like what you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Those likes help every time. Obviously, with the Let's Play, the more likes we get, the more likely we are to continue through that Let's Play to completion. We'll be looking for some items to give away during that period, as well as potentially some multiplayer shenanigans in the open world races that that Forza is well known for. If you're watching us on Twitch, thanks a lot for joining us and thanks for the interaction, and hopefully I'll see you again. You can follow the series on Twitch or on YouTube, and if you're following us on Twitch, please hit the follow button, as again that does help us out an extreme amount. Thanks for joining us again. Hope to see you soon when the game pops on the 28th of September. Thanks a lot.